The problem with the idea of the sort of savior, which is the hero, villain, victim triangle, and what I was saying about Jay-Z is that we all have lives that culminate in one particular moment, but each moment is a culmination of our individual life journey up to that point. The idea that somebody can, in fact, save you from yourself and your own life journey in one fell swoop is, it's deceiving, obviously, and it leads to a pattern that is very similar to a cycle of abuse, which is the honeymoon, the tension building up, the explosion, the separation, the forgiveness, and then back to the honeymoon period, which is not a healthy pattern to be in. The idea that someone, an intimate partner, is healing us, or we enter into these therapeutic relationships where the past one was so bad, and yet here's this new one that's so wonderful. We need to do our own work and really examine what is going on with our past relationships with the people that we're choosing to bring intimately into our lives. Why are we choosing these particular people? Number one, that's my first question, is what is it about this particular person? And I always suggest that, like an egg and the white, that you separate the desire for sex out of that attraction to that person and say, okay, I understand that I'm really sexually attracted to this person, but are they a good mate for me? And by the way, do I know myself well enough to even pick somebody? Have I done the internal work so that I am looking for someone that is going to be a healthy life partner and not just somebody that's going to save me? And by the way, the other piece of that is has this person done the work, or are they looking to be saved, or are they looking to save another? And here's a little simple story, is that I have two friends that offered to pet sit a darling teacup party poodle, and for a week while I was traveling. I came back, and my one friend just had such a connection with my darling family member that is also called a dog, that I said, fine, you can keep him for a while so that you can, because he's doing his work, and that's great, he's being a healing person, and you guys have a connection, and that's fine with me. Years later, and I'm still happy, we talked it over as a family, our family, and said that's fine, she can actually keep Coco, and she adores Coco and takes really good care of him. However, her partner at the time still sees that our family dog, who was 3 years old and had been a member of our family since the day he was born, was damaged and needed healing, and that he, at that point, when I asked him to pet sit for a week, was then healing this damaged, poor soul, which in fact, Coco is like off the charts joy in motion and always has been. So for instance, that particular person is always seeking somebody that needs to be healed, whether you need it or not. So it's almost like that Munchausen syndrome. You don't want a relationship with someone that has Munchausen syndrome, because they're going to not find problems within themselves, and you obviously don't want a hypochondriac in your life either. But they are going to find reasons for you or one of your loved ones to be ill that needs healing. And unless but it's a therapeutic relationship within what should just be a partnership, a relationship, not based on one person needing healing and the other person being the healer. There, once again, you're into a power imbalance, and the dynamic it's never going to work. Absolutely. That's why, for instance, that it's not legal for a doctor to marry the patient, or for a teacher to get involved with their students, because you're in a power imbalance. And it's definitely not healthy for the student or the patient, but it's also not healthy for the person who is the therapist, the doctor, or the professor. So so that's the deal, is that we want to find relationships that are not part of the savior complex, which, from what I can see, both the Buddha and the Jesus pathways actually are part of the savior complex. Is you're not good enough as you are now. In this moment, you're not good enough because you're not enlightened, whatever the hell that means, or you're not saved, whatever the hell that means. I'm saying bullshit. You are awesome as you are today, however you show up. Be the person that you are. Be fully present. Be fully authentic. Even if you're not perfect, who the hell cares? Who decided on the perfection model? It's just ridiculous, you know? Be the best you can. Be the most authentic. Try to be kind. And if you're not kind, you know, sometimes kindness is not being nice. Sometimes kindness is saying, enough of this power imbalance, enough of this savior, villain, victim, hero triangle. I'm not playing this game any longer, which means that either you change the rules, or I'm not going to be a part of this relationship.